Okay, so in my previous class, that was yesterday, we had done Jami fundamental rights. It's a top priority topic, very important. Change. Top priority topic হয় আমাৰ এইটো, which means that এইটো আমি অলপ হ'লেও in depth study কৰিব লাগিব because statement based questions APSC যোনটো নতুন pattern হয় statement based questions অৰ পৰা fundamental rights অৰ পৰা উঠাবলৈ সবতকে easy হয় so make sure যে at least আপোনালোকৰ যদি 4-5 ঘণ্টাও লাগি যায় then you complete a bulk of this particular chapter. All right. Sorry. The second important thing is যদি মোৰ মাত বা মাঝে সময় যদি ভাঙি যায় then please let me know. যদি network issues হয় then please let me know via the chat option. Yeah, the second important thing is that আমি কিছুমান topics segregate কৰিছিলো. In this case we had segregated these topics. Part 3 component of fundamental rights, Magna Carta of Indian Constitution hoy, features of fundamental rights ami joakali discuss korisilu, and articles or descriptions we had started, right? So these are a few topics. Ekita angle or pra apnaloke fundamental rights to cover koribo lagibo. Eta fifth topic hoy juntu moi joakali koisilu, which is writs. What are writs? How are they issued? We will study in detail today. This is our target today. We will finish fundamental rights in a manner that apnaloke prelims or GA question na hok kyo you will be able to cover. So that is our target for today's session. Ami thulmulke korisilu je amar 6ta fundamental right thake. Okay, right to equality. Eta trick koisilu moi je first ami hodai consider korim je juntu amar prothom fundamental right hoy, it is to be equal. সব সমান হয়, সব ইকুয়াল হয়. After that যদি ইকুয়ালিটি আছে then we also have freedom. যদি freedom আছে এনেকুৱা নহয় যে we have arbitrary freedom. So against that we have a right for exploitation. Freedom হলে আপোনালোকে exploit যে কৰিব নোৱাৰে বা কোনো ধৰণৰ সিটিজেনে বেলেগ এজন সিটিজেনক বা গভৰ্নমেন্টে সিটিজেনক বা সিটিজেনে উল্টা গভৰ্নমেন্টক যাতে কেতিয়াও exploit কৰিব নোৱাৰে, যোনটো obviously নহয়, just for an example কৈছো. Next is we have a freedom of religion. Jodi amar religion of freedom ase then culture and education of freedom o ase. We have rights on that. Now rights to amak di dile, but what if rights are violated? If rights are violated, then we also have a constitutional right of remedies. Okay, if any of our rights are violated, jodi amar kunuba ta right follow hua nai, violate jodi hoise, then also we have a right to constitutional remedy, and that itself is a fundamental right. So ekhini ami thulmulke korisilu. Today we will start in detail about each and every right. Before that, let us see one thing. Kisuman rights. Okay, this is a direct question. Prelims or karne mo shortcut. This is a direct question. Amar etu kun keta fundamental right all citizens or karne ase ar kun keta fundamental rights foreigners or karne ase, both foreigners and citizens or karne ase, ar kun keta right only for citizens ase. Okay, so this here on your screens are those fundamental rights which are available only to the citizens and not to foreigners. Ar yato logic ase. Okay, this is a direct question. Let me again repeat. Direct question ahe etu, which of the following are fundamental rights which are available only to the citizens and not to the foreigners. Okay, and there are some rights which are available both to the citizens and the foreigners. Now yate saok apnalokor jiman rights ase from 14 to 35 jodi ami consider noko 32 boli thoisu kiniba. Okay, yar pora jun keta right apunar fundamental rights only for available for citizens hoy hekita listing apnalokor on screen dia ase. Yar bahire baki jiman keta right ase those are available to the citizens as well as the foreigners, except for enemy aliens. Enemy aliens mane hoise any person, any nation, anything which is a threat to the Indian security by national security. Okay, security. Anything which is a threat to the security of the nation can be considered as enemy aliens. Okay, security mane suppose terrorism hoy gol. Okay, juntuwe bostu amar hanti bhongo koribo in case of the Indian scenario, that will be considered as enemy aliens. So hechinik ami kono dhৰণৰ rights provide nokorwe as a whole. Okay, this question does not come in exams mo koisu enemy aliens definition to nahe, but just for understanding ki ahibo exam the direct question will be which of the following rights are available to citizens, which of the following rights are available both to the citizens and foreigners. That's it. Aru tate shortcut eta hoy apnaloke ei pasta right monot rakhibo junkhini amar citizens or karne only available ase, baki kita apnalokor by default monot thaki jabo. Article number 15. Article number 15 ki ase right against discrimination hoy. It's a right against discrimination, which means যে we will not, or the constitution will not discriminate between foreigners and citizens, right? এনেকুৱা যদি এটা আৰ্টিকেল বনাই দিয়ে, দেন কি হ'ব, আমি যোনখিনি এক্সট্ৰা, ফৰ এক্সাম্পল যেতিয়া আমি কাজিৰঙা যাওঁ বা অৰ্কিড পাৰ্ক গৈছো ফৰ এক্সাম্পল, অ'কে, তাতে কি হয়, যোনখিনি নেশ্যনেলছ হয়, আই মিন দি ইণ্ডিয়ান নেশ্যনেলছ, আমি কিমান পে' কৰোঁ, 20 rupees ছাপ'জ বা 40 rupees, কিন্তু ফৰেন নেশ্যনেলছখিনি 200 rupees পে' কৰে। চ' ৱাই ইজ দ্যাট পচিবল? সেই ডিছক্ৰিমিনেশ্যনটো আমি নৰ্মেলি ইণ্ডিয়ানছৰ বিষয়ে কৰিব পাৰিলোঁ হয় নে, যে গাঁওখিনি মানুহে 20 টকা দিব, টাউনৰখিনি মানুহে 40 টকা দিব, আৰু একদম মেট্ৰপলিটনৰখিনি 100 rupees দিব, তেনেকুৱা হয়নে? নহয়। It does not happen like that, because for Indians it is in the constitutional right is that they will never be discriminated against any place of birth, sex, caste, religion, etc. Okay, but foreign nationals লগত আমি হেতু discrimination কৰিব লাগিব in order to tax collection হওক, revenue collection হওক, we have to do that. সেই কাৰণে this particular discriminatory right is not available to the discriminatory right. Remember, the discriminatory right is not available to the foreigners. যদি তেনেকুৱা হৈ যায়, then আমি foreigners ৰ পৰাও 20 টকাই তুলিম in case when they enter orchid park, or else যেতিয়া আমাৰ সেই revenue collection. This is just one of those examples. এনেকুৱা বহুত ঠাই আছে, বহুত examples আছে, তাৰ ভিতৰত মই এটা example দিছো. So article number 15, it is available only to citizens and not to foreigners. Start an example মই আপোনাক দি দিলো। Example to মনত ৰাখিলে you will be able to understand কিয় article 15 to দিয়া নহয়। Article number 16, কি আছিল article number 16? It was employment. Okay, এটোতো সবেই জানে, যদি employment আমি foreigners কাৰণে open কৰি দিও, then there will be already we have a dividend jota amar youth বহুত বেছি আছে, right? We know that our population, not Indian population is a young population, already employment problem আছে, hetut ami foreigners or logot discrimination ta rakhu, we will always give a preference, ami hekane PRC খুজা হয়, আপোনালোকে দেখিছে, permanent resident certificate খুজা হয় বা nationality খুজা হয়। okay, in case যদি তাতে কোনোবা ধৰণৰ এনেকুৱা foreign employment দিয়ে, then it is usually an MNC, okay, which is established in India. MNC মানে multinational company হ'ব পাৰে, বা ধৰি লওক এনেকুৱা international institute হ'ব পাৰে যাৰ foundation to India নহয়, তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আমি foreigners বিলাকক what we call it হেৰি দিও, কি কয়, employment দিও, বা ধৰি লওক funding comes from foreign resources, তেতিয়া exchange programত আহিব পাৰে। কিন্তু in general কোনো গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট জবত আপোনালোকে দেখা নাপাব কেতিয়াও যে এজন আমেৰিকানে আহি পেলাই job কৰি আছে। Okay, so mostly it is restricted to Indian citizens only. So this fundamental right is available only to the, again, article number 16 is available only to the Indian citizens and not to foreigners. Article number 19, freedom of speech. Okay, this is also available only by freedom junto amar ase hetu, that is also available only to the, please remember, it is also available only to citizens. Eto to apnaloke buji paise saye, foreigners do not have a freedom of speech বা freedom of 126 যিমান কিটা আছে সেইটা নাপায়, আমি হিটা পঢ়িম in elaboration, so that is also not available. Okay, article number 29, and article number 30, cultural and educational rights, these are also available only to the Indian citizens. So I hope it is clear যে আপোনালোকৰ কোন কেটা right, এটোতো আপোনালোকে মুখস্থ মাৰিবই লাগিব, উপায় নাই, মানে মুখস্থ in the sense now you understand the logic also. 15, 16, 19, 29, 30, okay, these are available. মই ইয়াতো দেখাই দিছো, ইয়াতে আছে 15, right to equality 15, 16, okay, this is 19 here, okay, then 29 and 30, okay, these are strictly available to Indian, in Indian context only, in Indian, to Indian citizens only. How you have understood it? 15 hole it is discrimination, we can discriminate, employment opportunity only given to Indians, then freedom of expression, of assembly, association, ebilak sob amar only Indians, cultural minority or ekhini junkhini amar language, script aru junkhini protection ase, that is only for Indians. Foreigner eta keto demand koribo noare je more language to, eta Italian ejone jodi India ta hipla kwa more language to ya protect for, hetu koribo noare, ba jodi ejon Israeli ejone jodi ahe, if he comes and says my customs, my rituals should be followed here, because I'm a minority, follow it, he will or she will not be considered. So I hope you're getting the meaning. This is a very basic thing, কিন্তু আপোনালোকে পৰাপক্ষত অলপ টেকনিক্যালিটিজত এই বেসিক খিনি মনত ৰাখিব, নহলে আৰ্টিকেল নাম্বাৰ কেটা পাহৰি যাব। Okay, now let us move on, কোনখিনি articles are given to the foreigners. Yes, this is even more easy. Okay, etu amar in general it is more easy to understand. 14 hoise equality, of course আমি এটা পঢ়িছিলো, I'll go back to the this one. মই কৈছিলো যে article number 14 ত দুটা কম্পোনেন্ট আছে, equality before law and equal protections of law, protection of laws, both of them. Even if a foreigner is in India and let's say he or she commits a crime here, he will be considered equal before the law. এনেকুৱা নহয় যে just because he's a foreigner so he is allowed to murder here. No, that is not allowed. Okay, so বা উল্টাটো হ'ব পাৰে, let's say the other way around also. For example, an Indian also murdered and মই murder কথাটো কৈছো just for an example. Again, there are many ways of doing it. Then let's say the Indian also murdered and there is a murder case against the foreigner also. So just because he is an Indian does not mean যে তেখেতৰ Indiaনৰ penalty to কম হ'ব, and just because he is a foreigner so তেখেতৰ penalty to বেছি হ'ব, and the vice versa also. Just because he's a foreigner so তেখেতৰ বোলে penalty to কম হ'ব. No. So this particular law, it's a both negative and positive fundamental right. This says that any particular uh, like case under the article number 14, it will be applicable for both the foreigner and the citizen. Okay, etu buji pale. 2021 20 is against detention. Okay, detention rights ami olop pisot sam etu. Detention mane jetia arrest ba detention or case ot foreigners jiman rights thakibo, citizen etar human right thakibo, sorry, citizen etar jiman right thakibo, foreigner etar human right thakibo. Article number 21, that is personal life and liberty. Okay, life and liberty. It is my request the article khini apnaloke ekdom mukhot thakibo lagibo so that in exam apnaloke etu bhaibole doubt na rakhibo je kuntu article ki hoy. That is why we are starting polity at the very beginning. Robust revision dibo jate fundamental rights, DPSP, preamble ekhini apnalokor hatot thakok, and parliament. These are top priority topics. Yar par apnalokor 4 ta 5 ta minimum jodi 7 8 ta question ahe 6 ta 7 ta question yar par ahi jabo. Okay, anyway, article number 21, even the foreigner will have the equal amount of life and liberty, jiman personal liberty, life or jiman odhikar ase himan ejon foreigner pabo equal to an Indian citizen within the territory of India. Okay, article number 21A, freedom of elementary education. Okay, that is also available to the foreigners. Article number 22, this is again about punitive detention. Okay, this I will again cover later on. Article 23, 24, 25, 23, 24 is against exploitation. Just because he or she is a foreigner, you cannot exploit. 23 and 24 are regarding exploitation. Okay, just because he or she is a foreigner, you cannot exploit. Okay, next was a where is it? Yeah, article number 25, 26, 27, 28. Ekhini amar hoy 27 to no, actually 26, 28 to ekhini amar hoise regarding religion. If a particular foreigner is suppose a Christian or a Parsi or any other religion, he will also have, or he or she will have, freedom of religion even if he or she is inside the territory of India. Okay, so the basic idea is lagile tekhet jore nohok kyo, there are the person will still be equal. Lagile tekhet jore nohok kyo, he will still have freedom of religion. Lagile tekhet jore nohok kyo, he or she will still have personal liberty, freedom of elementary education, punitive detention thakibo, against protection thakibo, then arrest against protection thakibo, etc. So this is a very simple concept, eneke bahut complicated concept nohoy, but for your understanding I am repeating that whatever rights are available to the citizen, whatever rights are not available to the foreigners, ekhini apnaloke eta chart banai lobo. Ekhiniye mostly hudhe, yatke beshi nuhude ketiao. These are the maximum articles that will be asked about, yatke beshi ketiao nuhude. But what you have to do is revise, otherwise exam time ot apnaloke pahori jabo. Okay, exam time you will definitely forget kuntu article kihot asile, but hetu monot rakhibole I have given you the gist, given you the idea je article 15 to kyo citizens ok diya na jay, article 14 to cure available to both citizens and foreigners. If you remember that much, that will also do. But yet sobotke main cue to hoise, still you will have to remember which article reflects which definition. A description to of every article with the article number has to be remembered. You have no shortcut here. Fundamental rights as a whole from 14 at least till 32 you have to remember. You have no shortcut here. Okay, all right, so let us move on to the next. Yes, so আমি এটা 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 কৰি পেলাই we will try to figure out all the 14 from the 14 till the at least 32 leke আমি jimankhini amar articles ase, we are going to discuss them one by one. Okay, and after this almost after 2-3 articles we will open this platform for discussion, ঠিক আছে, for 2-3 minutes only, so that আপোনালোকৰ doubts খিনি immediately clear হৈ যায়. It is important for you to understand যে articles খিনি আপোনালোকে at least by default মুখস্থ ৰাখিব লাগিব, but তাৰ in-depth content টো আপোনালোকে অলপমান ৰাখিব লাগিব, because statement based questions ত the first target is fundamental rights, then আপোনাৰ factual ত আহিব DPSP and preamble, but statement based questions ৰ কাৰণে আপোনালোকে kindly make sure that you have in-depth analysis. আমি অলপ কৰা start কৰিম এতিয়াৰ পৰা. So after 3 or 4 articles are done, then we'll open this forum. আপোনালোকে যিমান doubts আছে note কৰি ৰাখিব, and then we will discuss. Now, quickly let us go to one of the most important concepts. It APSC last year ahi goise already, and many of the candidates I still remember discussing that they were shocked that APSC rule of law question to kyo dile, but ultimately the fact was pattern to change hole hole, but many people who followed the previous patterns did not know that rule of law concept to exactly ki asile. At a main reason hole because previously কেতিয়াও এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ statement based question নাহে. So we will try to cover this অলপ in depth ke, so that you understand what is this concept, and as a whole ইয়াৰ question খিনি কেনেকে prelims ত form হ'ব. So এইটো concept আমাৰ দিছিলে 𝐏𝐫 বুলি কোৱা এজন British jurist asile. Okay, so এইটো usually নুশুনে, but still you can keep a note of it because APSC since pattern change কৰিছে anything can happen. First thing is rule of law বুলি কোৱা এটা concept হয়. Okay, rule of law concept tour basis ote ami juntu olop agot puri asilu. I'll go back to article number 14 statement, this one, equality before law and equal protection of laws. Equality before law a component to juntu actually concept hoy that comes from the rule of law concept. Rule of law concept upone disile 𝐏𝐵. Now see, it's not very tough, but listen to this very carefully. ইমান tough concept নহয়. First thing হৈছে আপোনালোকৰ প্ৰথম statement based question বনি গ'ল, rule of law forms the basis of which particular concept? The answer is equality before law. কোনটো article number হয়? Equality কোৱাৰ লগে লগে article number 14. Okay, please remember. Again, I'll repeat, rule of law is the basis of which concept? It forms the basis of equality before law. Equality before law is the concept which is a part of article number 14. Article number 14 of duta component ase, equality before law and equal protection of laws. Okay, now what is rule of law? Rule of law tinta principle ase. Rule of law under a tinta element ase basically. Okay, the first one which says is no man shall be, see keywords hoibo. Okay, no man can be or shall be can be punished except for a breach of law. Arbitrary, the word arbitrary means jetia tetia jahai tahai. কোনোবা এটা মানুহ আপোনালোকে জাষ্ট বা জুডিচিয়াৰী বা এক্সিকিউটিভ বা যোনে হওক যিও লয় হওক, they cannot be punished until unless there's a breach of law. সেইকাৰণে Indian system, for example, if the law is not there, okay, and that particular crime happens, then also the particular person will not be punished because the law has not mentioned it. এনেকুৱা আমাৰ হৰ্ষদ গুপ্তা স্কেম, হৰ্ষদ গুপ্তা আছিল নামটো, এটা স্কেম হৈছিলে. সেই স্কেমটোত আমাৰ সেই শ্বেয়াৰ মাৰ্কেটৰ স্কেম এটা আছিলে. The reason why they could not punish him was that মই অলপ vaguely জানো, if someone is from commerce or if someone is interested in shares, of course he'll know the story. That particular person could not be punished because at that time India had to law nasile. So that is the idea, and it's a very strong idea. Okay, that until unless the person does not have a breach of law, যদি law to breach মানে basically surpass কৰা বা ভাঙি দিয়া, যদি law না ভাঙে, then no man can be punished. Okay, and that is why this is called A2 হৈছে আপোনাৰ keyword. Absence of arbitrary power is the first principle. Because law যদি লিখা নাই তেতিয়া আপোনাক পানিশ কৰিব না, তাৰ মানে কি হ'ল যেনেকে তেনেকে, arbitrary মানে আছে যেনেকে তেনেকে, এই power যেনেকে তেনেকে যিকোনো power লৈ পেলাই you cannot punish a person. So that is a very important concept because we as common citizens, we are protected by it. যাতে আমি যদি কোনোবাই যদি কৈলে আপুনি যোনটো লেনত খুচকাইছে হেতু ভুল, ৰাস্তাত দুটা ঠাই আছে, এইখিনি মাটিত বুলি আপুনি খুচকাইছে এটুত ভুল, you are breaking the law. যদি এটু law নাথাকিল হয়, then we would have been in jail. Okay, any powerful person বা any person with higher authority might have come and said that this particular যদি law written to নাথাকিলে হয়, and if rule of law নাথাকিলে হয়, what would have happened? He আপনি বেকাকে খুচুৱাৰ কাৰণে you would have been in jail. But now can you be in jail? No. Why? Because it is not written in law. But যদি law লিখা থাকিলে হয় যে আপোনালোকে সেই লেনটো, যেনেকে for example going without a license, that is you are breaking a law. Okay, so that in that way you'll be punished. You'll be punished in via a penalty. So that is the idea. It's a very simple concept, but a very beautiful concept which actually protects our fundamental rights. So the first point is that there will be, the rule of law says there will be absence of arbitrary power. Okay, no man can be punished except for the breach of law. I hope this is clear. Second to power is equality before the law. What is it? It is the equal subjection of all citizens. Lagile rich hawk, lagile amir, garib, dukia, dhoni, jenegwai nohok, official hawk, non-official hawk. Okay, everyone will be under one single law. Okay, there will be one single ordinary law. Okay, juntu law move part follow hobo, the same law will also be applicable to Amitabh Bachchan. That is the idea. See, again, all of this is definitely theoretical hoy. So you might come and answer me ki Salman Khan to dear mari pela basi gol. So we'll not go into that. But what we are sticking to is basic concept, constitutional juntu amar সিদ্ধান্তখিনি that we should be following as a whole, as a citizen. মই সেইখিনি কথা কৈছো, controversies খিনি আমি নাযাওঁ, আপোনালোকৰ brainত definitely some controversies will always come when we're dealing with fundamental rights, because whatever is in paper is not in action. That might happen, but that's a different scenario. But we as citizens, we as aspirants, and we as civil servants, we are always going to take the positive of it. আমি controversies ত কেতিয়াও নুহুমাও. We will always consider what is the constitution is the law of the land, so we are going to follow it no matter what. Okay, পিছৰখিনি পিছৰ কথা, পাষ্টত যদি এনেকুৱা ডিচিশনছ কন্ট্ৰভাৰ্চিজ হৈ গৈছে, we will not take reference from that. Okay, anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, the second law, it says, the rule of law second principle to কৈছে that there will be equal subjection of all citizens. This is the key word. Equality before law, equal subjection of, it equal to her, it's the same thing. Equality before law, equal subjection of citizens. This is the second one. So when the question comes, the question will be as such. প্ৰথম আপোনাৰ লিখি দিব statement, which of the following are the components of rule of law? Absence of arbitrary power, presence of arbitrary power, equal subjection of all citizens, non-equal subjection of all citizens. এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আপোনালোকক statements বনাই দিব. So সেইখিনিত আপোনালোকে definitely আপোনালোকে keywords ধৰিব, এইখিনিকে আপোনাক, okay, the same concept হয়তো আৰু simple language কৈ দিব পাৰে, যেনেকে for example this statement might be written, no man can be punished except for breach of law. So now you understand that it's the same thing, but a little bit of turn and twist of the statements. আপোনালোকে কনসেপ্টটো ধৰিব। প্ৰথমটো হৈছে absence of arbitrary power। যোনটো স্টেটমেন্টে আপোনাৰ এটো উসাৰসি হয়, you are going to go for it. Okay, that যিকোনো ধৰণে power use কৰিব নোৱাৰি। No person will be punished except for the breach of law। হেবলা আপোনাৰ উসাৰসি চাব লাগিব। সেকেন্ড কথাটো হৈছে equality before law, like I said, and equal subjection of all citizens। তাৰ মানে there is a single ordinary law and every law is same for all the citizens. That is important. Last one, the primacy of rights of the individual, that is the constitution is the result of rights of the individual as defined and enforced by the courts of law rather than the constitution being the source of the individual rights. Iman dikol statement, meaning eki hai constitution amar jiman khini ase, constitution jiman khini our statements as fundamental rights as a DPSP as a, who we as individuals, where are we getting the rights from? Okay, yate apunar first and second juntu hoy, third to juntu a to statement hoy, this is not applicable. This is not applicable in our system. Okay, Indian constitution not, the constitution is the source of individual rights. Tar mane we derive our rights, fundamental right to what likha ase in the constitution itself. So we derive our rights from the constitution. Constitution is the source of individual rights, is a statement monot rahibo. Okay, but rule of law tiar ulta to likha asile. Okay, constitution is the result of rights. Okay, rights ase tar pora constitution khon bonua asile teneka hoy, but amar case hetu nohoy. This is a technical statement, in depth amak nalage, apnaloke just monot rakhibo prothom duta as it is amar follow hoy, the third statement jodi a statement to exam ot ase apnaloke sabo jate statement to kuntu form ot likha ase. Yes, so 3 points were, okay, I'm sorry for the twitch. Okay, yeah, so that so there were 3 points. Like I said, rule of law very very important, top priority hoy. Okay, so please remember this is a top priority topic of fundamental rights. So bhitor too, in fact, it's a very important topic both from a mains and prelims point of view. So parapoikhot apnaloke etu monot rakhibo, তিনিটা আমি পইণ্ট পঢ়িলোঁ তাতে থাৰ্ড পইণ্ট ইজ নট আ পাৰ্ট অফ ইণ্ডিয়ান কনষ্টিটিউশ্যন চ' সেইটো কেতিয়াও নুসুধে সুধিলে ফাৰ্ষ্ট আৰু ছেকেণ্ড দিব আৰু যদি সুধে ইউ দে উইল মেক চিয়'ৰ দেট দে ৰাইট দিছ ষ্টেটমেণ্ট কনষ্টিটিউশ্যন ইজ দি চ'ৰ্চ অফ দি ইণ্ডিভিজুৱেল rights. Okay, I'll clear. Constitution is the source of individual rights. Remember this. Next point is article number 14 to আমি already পঢ়িছিলো দুটা কম্পোনেন্ট আছে তাৰে rule of law is important বাকিখিনি আপোনালোকে general reading দিব পাৰে this is important exceptions to equality article number 14 ৰ কিছুমান exceptions আছে তাৰে যোনটো বাকিখিনি ইয়াৰ বাকিখিনি আৰু দুটা মানে এক্সেপশ্যন আছে ইউ কেন গিভ ইট এ জেনেৰেল ৰিডিং এইখিনিৰ ভিতৰতো টপ মোষ্ট যোনটো ফ্ৰম এপিএছচি প্ৰিলিমছ পইণ্ট অফ ভিউ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয় সেইটো হৈছে দিছ ওৱান এণ্ড দিছ ওৱান প্ৰেচিডেণ্ট এণ্ড গভৰ্ণৰ হেজ some kinds of immunities president and governor they have some kind of immunities কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ immunities আছে সেইখিনি you can give it a read okay ইমান important নহয় just this article is important. Okay, Article 361 it gives special immunities to the Indian governor and the presidents. Sorry, the Indian president and the governor of states. This is important. Top notch supreme priority junto sobotke important topic of exception of equality is this. Article 31C. Okay, Article 31C buli kota article ase. Please listen to this very carefully. It provides, okay, what does it provide? Kisuman law, okay, enekwa kisuman law ase junkhini DPSP implement koribole. We will go for DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. Okay, kisuman laws ami bonabo paru DPSP implement koribole. Okay, aru he DPSP kira kuntu article specifically article number 39. We will study this. Ami pisot ketu pam apnaloke etia monot rakhibo. Okay, first thing is there are some articles, okay, sorry, there are some laws. These laws will be made to implement DPSP. Listen to this very carefully. এনেকুৱা কিছুমান law থাকিব যোনখিনি DPSP implement কৰিবলৈ বনোৱা হ'ব okay কিছুমান directive principles implement কৰিবলৈ বনোৱা হ'ব কোনটো DPSP যোনটো article 39 ত আছে article 39 exactly কি আছে that we will see later on okay it is in case of এটা equality component হয় এতিয়া কাৰণে first আপোনালোকে just মনত ৰাখক when we will study article number 13 I will again mention this point. All right, I'll repeat, there are some laws junkhini DPSP implement koribole bonwa hoy aru kuntu DPSP kotha koise gutekhini nohoy from 36 to 51 jiman kin DPSP ase sob nohoy only article number 39 kotha koise hey DPSP khini 39 article number junkhini against DPSP against junkhini laws bonwa hoy they cannot be challenged saying je ekhini right to equality violate kore. Okay, I will repeat, there are some laws, keywords sabode laws, they are talking about laws, not particular any apunar dholok in general civil liberties or tena kotha koa nai the keyword is laws. Okay, rules nohoy heri nohoy regulations nohoy laws exactly law form hobo lagibo that particular law kyo her form hoise to implement a DPSP which is in 39 or 39 or in particular 39B and 39C. Okay, eto extra knowledge or extra heri hoy in case of the exam on NITIO they might just stick to 39 article number 39. Okay, and it cannot be challenged jete a laws khini according to 39B and C boni gol then they cannot be challenged that they are violative of article number 14. এতিয়া লেকerne apnaloke in short ekhini monot rakhok when we will do DPSP then I'll get back to this again and then you will understand exactly 39B or C ki asile etia mo kole again it will be confusion it will be kind of a glitch. Okay, now 8 statement monot rakhibo where article 31C comes in article 14 goes out. Why? Because article 31C allows ki allow kore je kisuman laws junkhini ami DPSP kuntu DPSP article 39B or C ekita against jeta ami bonam tete hekhini kunu court or challenge koribo nware je ekhini article number 14 of violate kore as simple as that. Okay, as simple as that. This is one of the exceptions of article number 14. Like I said, fundamental rights are not absolute, right? Fundamental rights are not absolute except for one article which is article number 17. Baki khinit sobote enekwa dhoroner exceptions ase. Okay, equality exceptions kini ami salu joakali ami saisilu already je article number 14 15 16 17 18 loke these are all right to equality. Okay, sota amar rights ase again you can go back and check the video but for now we are doing the exceptions to those equalities. Okay, the particular right to equality as a whole. President of India, governor of states, they enjoy some immunities. Article number 361. Okay. কেইটামান আৰ্টিকেল মুখস্থ মৰা বা মনত ৰখা ট্ৰিক কেইটামান আছে but that we will be able to do only after we finish parliament, then you will be able to get I mean collect those tricks আৰু তেতিয়া আপোনালোকৰ মনত থাকিব but at least rights fundamental rights ৰ কাৰণে trick থাকিলেও নাথাকিলেও you have to remember. Okay, next is where article 31C comes in, article 14 goes on. এইটো supreme court or statement এটা হয় as it is আহিব পাৰে examত, so please remember this, very important from prelims point of view. Foreign rulers, আপোনাৰ sovereigns হ'ব পাৰে, they also enjoy immunity. UNO, they enjoy immunity. Okay, এইবিলাক আমাৰ article number 14 ৰ লগত কিছুমান exceptions আছে, general reading on ভৰাই দিব পাৰে, ইমান particularly important নহয় for prelims point of view, but at least জানি থলে হ'ল that article 14 ৰ কিছুমান আমাৰ হেৰি আছে, exceptions আছে. এইটো আমি যোৱাকালি কৈছিলো article number 15 that the state shall not discriminate against any citizen on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth or any of them. এইটো আমাৰ আছিলে 15.1. ইয়াতে মই কৈছিলো 15.1 2 3 4 5 6 ছটা ক্লজ আছে, প্ৰিলিমছ পইণ্ট অফ ভিউৰ পৰা ভেৰি 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 ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয়, যোৱাকালি মই কোৱা আছিলে তাতে ভিতৰত 15.6 ইজ most important because it concerns the EWS, নতুনকৈ ভৰোৱা হয়. 15.1 and 2 they talk about the যোনটো আমাৰ discrimination কি বেচিছত কৰিব নোৱাৰে. 3 4 and 5 they talk about reservations, again এইখিনি exceptions. Okay, like I said, articles fundamental rights are not absolute, তেহেঁতৰ চবৰে কিবা না কিবা এটা exception আছে. 3 4 and 5 are exceptions, য'ত 3 is about women and child. Okay, 4 and 5. Okay, article number 15 4 and 5, 15 clause 4 and 15 clause 5, they are related to SC and ST. Etu monot rakhile hol because the same thing will again go for 16 also. Article 16 or 2 juntu 4 ase, that is for SC and ST. So this is a shortcut you can remember. Jote apnaloke sub clause 4 and 5 dekhile, that will be for SC and ST. Okay, so 15.6 is a new entry, very 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 important, EWS or babe hoy tu. The state to make special provisions for advancement of any economically weaker section. This one. Okay, advancement ki hor hobo, this one. Aru etu amar hoy eta exception to article 15. Okay, so basically article 15 says you cannot discriminate, but we can discriminate only on few grounds. Aru he grounds kini quote ase 15.3, 15.4, 15.5 and 15.6. 15.3 4 koy 3 koy amar women and children or reservation or karne কিবা provisions কাৰণে আমি তেতিয়া discriminate কৰিব পাৰো. Okay, যেনেকৈ কয় ladies first, in general we say that dialogue, so that is again something that is against article 15, but still it is considered because these exceptions are made in the constitution itself. Okay, then article number 15.4 for scheduled caste, article number 15.5 also for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, article number 15.6 is for economically weaker sections. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Next is article number 16, again the same thing. Etu hoise apunar employment, keyword is employment. 16 is related to employment, so first it says there will be equal opportunity of employment, prothom kotha, kintu again equal opportunity hobo, but again the article is not absolute, which means you have to exception thakibo. Okay, it is not absolute, so there will be exceptions. What are the exceptions? 16.4, reservation of appointments in favor of backward citizens. Okay, this is important. Yate ma apnaloke eta kotha ko that firstly 16.4 to amar initially after 16.4 was once 16.4 was already enacted, etu amar constitution asile, Indira Soni eta case asile, and that particular case said that 16.4 to ami violate null and void dhoribo lagibo, mane 16.4 হিসাবত accordingly আমি promotion বা appointment or কেছত we cannot favor any citizen, তেনেকুৱা এটা judgment লোৱা হ'ল. Okay, but later on এটা amendment কৰা হ'ল and then this was again taken back. Okay, so there the state it ruled in favor of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes and কোৱা গ'ল that since the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes they are not adequately represented, এতিয়াও আমাৰ scheduled caste scheduled tribes or representation in employment is not very good at a national level koisu de as a whole. Hobo par amar representation is good, pretty good, much better than the other states, but there are some states, let's say Rajasthan, Bihar, কিছুমান জাগাত SC ST representation ajino to bahut bhal nohoy, so tat kintu ami reservation rakhim in matters of promotion, etu monot rakhibo. Okay, in case of employment we will consider reservation in case of promotions. Okay, reservation in appointments to asile, but in case of promotion also it was later on added. So SC/ST again jeneke 15(4) to SC/ST kotha asile, 16(4) also it belongs to backward classes. As a whole backward classes কোৱা হৈছে, কিন্তু promotion is only for SC and ST. OBC কাৰণে কিন্তু promotion নাই, হেতু মনত ৰাখিব. Okay, 16(4) is for backward classes, reservation of appointments যেনেকৈ আমাৰ 27% যোনটো reservation আহে, that comes from this particular article. Okay, so this is important. I'll repeat for article number 16. Clear কৰিলো. So wait. Yeah, so article number 16 not, first and foremost thing is it is equality of opportunity, but again equality of opportunity hobo kintu there will be some, this is an important, a bold koi thwa geta important statements hoy. Okay, there is one important thing, that is number 1, there will be reservation of appointments. Employment or case so there will be some exceptions, or here exception to ki hoy reservation thakibo for backward classes, 27%, 15%, 7% যোনটো আমাৰ আছে already OBC SC ST respectively. আৰু third কথাটো হৈছে 16(4)A এটো amended হয়, দেখিছে নহয়, এটো around 1991 or 1992 maybe এটো amendment হৈছিলে. Okay, but still I might be not ইমান year টো নুহুদে, but মই just কৈছো আৰু here the Supreme Court ruled in favor of this scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Tate কোৱা হৈছিলে in matters of promotion. Okay, in matters of promotion SC/ST বাবে reservation rakha hobo. Monot rakhibo 16(4) specifically these for promotion. Please remember keywords apunak lagiboy politics solve koribole, nohole guti statement mukhost mari mari obostha beya hoy jabo. So that is why I very much focus on keywords, jate he particular keyword to dekhiye aur he keyword to use hoboy in the MCQ, in the option. That particular option will always have a keyword, you just have to catch the keyword. Okay, Yar upor, if you have understood this, I will add one last point. Parliament will not be prohibited from making any law. Okay, it will not prevent the parliament from making any law against reservation hok ba kiba hok. So yate apna ketapa eta question ghurai die je employment hok ba reservation hok tar rule bilak ba law bilak kune bonai, but who has the authority to make the laws. That option thakibo president, parliament, that option thakibo state government, union, alone. Okay, the answer will always be parliament. And etu moi olop agor pa kali porkhiu eta class hosile jot moi jonaisilu law making or case out, usually it's always the parliament. Okay, shortcut at apnaloke hetu bostu monot rakhibo pare jikunu law making out actually it's basically the parliament. Okay, that is a shortcut. Aru kisuman bostu president or thake jeneke emergency declaration hobo pare ba kiba, but tatu the major decision will be taken by the parliament. We'll look into that. So make sure that apnaloke president ba prime minister to ketiao answer no hoy etu এবিলাক short tricks হয়. যিকোনো law making process হয় it is always the parliament. মই কাৰ example এটা দিছিলো যোৱা ক্লাছত. Okay, so this is about article number 16. Article number 17 আমি already কৰিছোৱে. ইয়াত এটা important point, very important from prelims point of view, untouchability definition to. Okay, article number 17, let's go back to that particular. Yes, so article number 17 is abolition of untouchability and prohibition of its practice. Okay, in this scenario abolition of untouchability and prohibition of its practice, what untouchability into definition amar constitution or nai. So statement eta likhi dibo the definition of untouchability is provided in the constitution, then that statement will be wrong. Okay, a two favorite question hoy, one of the favorite questions of MCQs has been this about the definition of untouchability. Similarly minority, a word to definition our constitution diya nai. Okay, the constitution does not provide us with the definition of minority, but the constitution defines state junto amar article number 12 and article number 35, that state kak bola jabo he definition to ase, but that we will do when we will it was an extra topic hoy. So moi yat confuse koribole bhorwa nai, yat ami mostly we are only dealing with fundamental rights, but I'll come to it, no doubt. Etia monot porse kan koi disu. So untouchability, that definition to dia nai, minority definition nai amar constitution not. Okay, what this statement is actually given by the Madras High Court, kintu etu just untouchability hoy ki it's just social disabilities. Okay, social disabilities boli ko eta bostu thake, for example mondirot nuhumabo, it's a disability, it's a social norm, mondirot sob jabo pare, kintu suppose agote jeneke কিছুমান হৰিজন বা যোনটো আমি ধৰ লোৱাৰ কাষ্টবিলাকক মন্দিৰ যাবলৈ সোমাবলৈ নিদিয়ে. Okay, that is a social disability. But they are not allowed to touch whatever the upper classes wear, drink, eketa kuar pa pani khabol nidiye. So those are examples of untouchability, right? So those are social disabilities of certain classes of person will say, okay, by reason of their birth in certain cases. Untouchability at a simple definition hoy, but that definition is not considered, sorry, is not given by the constitution. Etu monot rakhibo, okay? So this is a very important fact. Direct etu question ahe, the definition of untouchability or minority ebilagor definition our constitution dia nai. This here is a general reading যে এইটো particular act কি কি দিয়ে prelims point of view পৰা important নহয়, but just because to save your time you can read directly from here. যেনেকে basically untouchability কি cover কৰে, কোনখিনি offense হ'ব যদি untouchability follow কৰে, কি ধৰণৰ untouchability. For example, if you prevent someone from place of public worship, হে যদি মন্দিৰ সোমাবলৈ নিদিয়ে, যদি untouchability আপোনাৰ আপুনি কয় যে এইটো আমাৰ religious এটা ground হয়, for example যদি কৈ দিয়ে আমাৰ নামঘৰত সোমাব নিদিয়ে বিকজ নামঘৰৰ আমাৰ হেডজনে কৈছে যে সোমাব নোৱাৰে বুলি, অ'কে, বা ধৰি লওক ভকতসকলে কৈছে সোমাব নোৱাৰে বুলি, সেইটো বস্তু কনচিডাৰ নকৰে, অ'কে। কোনোবা শ্বপ, হোটেল বা পাব্লিক এণ্টাৰটেইনমেণ্ট, পাৰ্ক চাৰ্কে যদি সোমাবলৈ নিদিয়ে based on again birth, okay, based on birth সোমাবলৈ নিদিয়ে suppose, okay, then insult যদি কৰে, then refusing a person যদি hospital কোনোবা এটা স্কুলত যদি admission নলয় just because he's from a lower caste, because he's born from a different place, সেইটো বস্তু again that is considered untouchability, it's an offense, okay। যদি untouchability preach কৰে মানে যদি সেইটো আমাৰ শিক্ষা দিয়া যায় যে untouchability is a good thing বা process কৰিবলৈ বা perform কৰিবলৈ as a social evil, it will be considered an offense, okay। Then if you consider or if a particular shop, he or she does not sell goods, jodi koy je ebla bostu ma apnalokor nisna manuk nidiu, okay, so that will be an offense. So anything ebla general bostu hoy etu apnaloke eneu pohileu gom pabo, teneke ko he noy, not from prelims point of view. Prelims point of view pa article number 17, this is important, and the fact that this is an absolute right, ইয়াত কোনো ধৰণৰ exception নাই, okay। You cannot say যে under this considerations বা under these particular points we can consider untouchability as a right thing to do, এনেকুৱা কোনো পধ্যে হ'ব নোৱাৰে in any case, in any scenario, okay। So this is a summary of right to equality আমি কৰিলো just now. Right to equality is the first, আমাৰ এই ছটা fundamental right আছে। Right to equality, like I said, equality আছে, freedom আছে, freedom থাকিলে exploit তেও কৰিব নোৱাৰে, freedom of religion আছে, cultural and education rights আছে, আৰু এইখিনি rights পৰা আমাক protect কৰিবলৈ যে যাতে আমাৰ fundamental right খিনি violate নহওক তাৰ কাৰণে constitutional remedies আছে, okay। So right to article equality আমাৰ এই 14 পৰা 18 লৈকে এই পাঁচটা আৰ্টিকেল আছে, 14 কৰিলো, 15 কৰিলো, 16 কৰিলো, 17, ইয়াতে এক্সেপশনছ খিনি আপোনালোকে চাব, very important from prelims point of view, okay। 18 is not very important, so I have also made a list of articles here, I'll go to that particular, see, these articles are not so important, বাকিখিনি আমি কৰিম, but these articles are not so important from a prelims point of view। হে এটা লাইন যোনটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয় বা টাৰ্ম যোনটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয় মই মেনশ্যন কৰি দিছোঁ, ইয়াতকৈ বেছি এইখিনি আৰ্টিকেলৰ পৰা আপোনালোকক কেতিয়াও কুৱেশ্যন নুসুধে, অ'কে। কি পঢ়িব ইয়াত, only this part, I'll show you what to study in these articles, just this particular page that we had, যোনটো মই ভাগ ভাগ কৰি দিছোঁ of course পিছতকেও, just এই statement কেইটাও যদি আপোনালোকৰ মনত থাকে যে article 29 টো কি হয়, 30 টো কি হয়, okay, 27 কি হয়, 28 কি হয়, that is more than enough for those articles which are not important। বাকি যোনখিনি আমি extensively পঢ়িলো, for example rule of law আমি article 14 ৰ বেচিছত পঢ়িলো, article 14 ৰ বেচিছ হয়, right, equality before law, this is important, এইখিনি আমি in depth চালো, 15th আমি in depth চালো, 16th আমি in depth চালো, 17 আমি যিমানখিনি লাগে সেইখিনি চালো, okay। 18 টো ইমান দৰকাৰে নাই, so খালি ইয়াত আপোনালোকে keywords বিলাক চাব, okay। ইয়াতে দি দিব abolition of titles in all cases, but exception আছে, চাওক, absolute নহয়, court নহয়, military and academic titles আপুনি ল'ব পাৰে, যেনেকে my name is actually Dr. Sapna Mayuri Borah because I did a PhD so I can use this title doctor, MBBS এজনে doctor use কৰে যেনেকে, for example lieutenant general, major, captain, these are titles which can be given, so military and academic titles বাহিৰে questionটোত আপোনাৰ লিখি দিব যে all sorts of titles are abolished, but hetu nohoy tate sabot in the article statement title itself it is given that abolition of titles is done, is definitely a fundamental right, but military and academic titles can be taken, okay। Hey buli shri, sir, lord, zamindar eblak titles nai, mozadar eblak titles eta ami use koribo noaru formally, what can be used formally, miss, mrs, doctor, um, lieutenant general, colonel, major, captain. Okay, these are some titles that you can use formally. So this এইখিনি এইটো হৈছে আপোনাৰ ৰাইট টু ইকুৱালিটি আমি এইখিনি 14 15 16 17 18 কৰিলোঁ নেক্সট ইজ ৰাইট টু ফ্ৰীডম অ'কে ৰাইট টু ফ্ৰীডমত আমাৰ আছে 19 পৰা 22 লৈকে সেইটো মনত ৰাখিব আপোনালোকৰ ডিৰেক্টলি দি দিব টোটেল নাম্বাৰ অফ ফাণ্ডামেণ্টেল ৰাইটছ কেইটা আছে 6টা অ'কে ৰাইট টু ইকুৱালিটি কেইটা আছে 5টা এইটো আপুনি ডিফাৰেন্সটো সাব আৰ্টিকল আৰু টোটেল আৰ্টিকলটো মনত ৰাখিব সেইকাৰণে মই চাৰ্টখন এনেকৈ বনাইছোঁ দিজ আৰ দি 6 ফাণ্ডামেণ্টেল ৰাইটছ আৰু চবৰে এই মাজে মাজে যোনখিনি article wise junkhini rights ase hekini given here so before we move ahead I will open this session for okay let me it's 6:25 now so I'll open this session for 2 minutes if you have any doubts till ami etia junkhini koisu let us complete that if you think that this session is helpful fundamental rights apnaloke helpful hoise na etialeke junkhini cover koise tar himan apnalokor তাতকৈ বেছি কিবা ইনফৰমেশন লাগে যদি প্লিজ লেট মি নো ইন দি কমেন্ট সেকশন অলসো ইউ ক্যান লেট মি নো বা কলেও হ'ব I have opened the I have unmuted all of you the force mute is off right now if you have any doubts quickly okay we will not wait for more than 2-3 minutes by 6:30 we'll start the session again আৰু বহুতখিনি আছে actually fundamental rights হৈ গলে আপোনালোকে 6 to 7 questions you can I mean totally finish yeah anybody has any doubts please quickly you can place regarding fundamental rights okay so আপোনালোকৰ কাৰণে এইখিনি ইনফৰমেশন যথেষ্ট মানে যথেষ্টটো হয় মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা but do you think it is fine do you want to make it more slower because slow hole amare loss hobo no doubt but even then if somebody thinks busy fast we say please let me know if it is okay then also let me know so that I can continue with the same pace rule of law to aru ebar bujai দিব কোনটো পার্ট বুঝা নাই rule of law sorry sorry to well yes rule of law কোনটো পার্ট বুঝা নাই মোনালিসা আসলে নাকি নামটো concept to alop kodibo okay so ene buji paise na rule of law to I'll go back to the slide rule of law to basically it comes from A.V. Dicey's it's an A.V. Dicey বুলি কোৱা এজন ব্ৰিটিছ জুৰিষ্ট আছিলে তেখেতৰ কনসেপ্ট হয় ফাৰ্স্ট থিং সেকেন্ড বস্তুটো কৈছে that wait I'll go to this title rule of law forms the basis for article number 14 or pratham component to which is equality before law okay article number 14 says that there is equality before law and also equal protection of laws okay equal protection of laws or question usually nahe hudile tehati hoday question paper hota hai amar equality before law question to ahe aur tar basis to hoise rule of law okay rule of law be ki explain kore equality before law exactly meaning to ki hoy hetu ke amar hoise rule of law concept of bitor so in Indian concept ami koh je equality before law kyo hoy because any person jodi kunuba ejon manu ase you can only punish him or her for breach of law okay he or she will only be punished jodi kibata law bhangise any arbitrarily just because apni pani glass tu bhulke khale just because apni beka ke khuskaile just because apni rati par deri ke uthile hetur babe ketyao rule of law to sorry hetur babe ketyao amar law punish gt karnot nokore so that power is or that thing is provided by the equality before law or tar concept to ki hoise basis to ki hoise rule of law okay this particular concept itself comes from rule of law second bostu to hoise equality before law also means that all citizens will be equal tar mane moi jodi aji kiba ta crime korisu the amount of punishment that will be given to me will also be the same for any other person who commits the same type of crime মই যদি আজি চুৰি ডকাইতি কৰিছো তো মোৰ ঘৰৰ ওচৰজন দিল্লীত থকা এজন হাৰিয়ানাত থকা এজন তামিলনাডুত থকা এজন সবকে ইকুয়াল সমানে সেম কাইন্ড অফ পানিশমেন্ট দিয়া হ'ব according to the law. Whether it is Amitabh Bachchan, whether it is Shah Rukh Khan, whether it is me, anybody in this country within the territory of India, whoever it is, will be given the same amount of punishment. Why? Because everyone is considered equal before the law. Okay, hetuke ko ami equal subjection of all citizens to the law. All right, our law to basically junto ordinary law of the land বুলি কওঁ. Okay, this is the second thing. কিন্তু third point junto hoise rule of law jun third point hoy, it says that constitution to our rights or পিছত বা ৰাইটছৰ থ্ৰু বনা হৈছে বাট আমাৰটো উল্টা হয় আমি দেখিছোঁ পাৰ্ট 3 অফ দি কনষ্টিটিউশ্যন ইজ ফাণ্ডামেণ্টেল ৰাইটছ চ' আমাৰ কাৰণে কনষ্টিটিউশ্যন ইজ দি চ'ৰ্চ অফ ইণ্ডিভিজুৱেল ৰাইটছ চ' পইণ্ট নম্বৰ 3 টোৰ বাহিৰে বাকী দুটা আমাৰ ৰুল অফ ল'ৰ এভিডাইচি কনচেপ্টৰ মতে আমাৰ অকল ইকুৱালিটি বিফ'ৰ ল যোনটো আমাৰ কনষ্টিটিউশ্যনত আছে দেট ইনক্লুডছ অনলি ফাৰ্ষ্ট টু পইণ্টছ সেইটো মনত ৰাখিব 3 নম্বৰ পইণ্টটো আমাৰ কনষ্টিটিউশ্যনত সেইটো ফ'ল' নকৰে. So the rule of law is a concept. যেনেকে for example theories থাকে কেনেকুৱা theories থাকিব পাৰে for example a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab এটা algebraic এটা theorem আছিলে তেনেকৈ rule of law is a theorem for fundamental rights. এটা a plus b whole square কৰি পেলাই আমি পিছতকে কিমানখিনি বস্তু ফলো কৰো বা মানে সলভ কৰিছো in the same way this particular law it forms the basis of equality before law. Okay, এতিয়া বুজি পাইছে কোনে সুধিছিলে কোৱেশ্চনটো মোনালিসা বৰুৱা ৰুল অফ ল ওকে এতিয়া বুজি পাইছেনে ওকে আৰ্টিকল 14 core feature supremacy of law. Okay, it's the same thing. Supremacy of law also comes close to this part, equality before law and arbitrary powers jate use koribo nware. It's the same thing. Okay, jeneke amar no one is above the law boli koy. Okay, there's a statement no one is above the law, which means that if the law decides je aji dinot okay ami 10ta gosotke beshi nakatu to no person can come ahead and tell me just because moi amar mp er putek hoy hetu karone I will come and cut 11 more trees. That cannot happen. So no one is above the law. Okay, that is again a supremacy of law. Amar equally jeneke it just states that no one is above the law, equal subjection of law ebla usor concept hoy. Okay, usor concept hoy and it is the same jodi supremacy of law boli koise apnaloke rule of law logote relate koribo aru tat junkita points dekhaय tetia hekhini apnaloke goi thoi rule of law junkita option thakibo hekitake click koribo. Okay, am I okay with this Bitupon Das bujisene supremacy of law in short it means that no one is above the law. The same thing, there will be equal subjection of laws. Okay, ইয়াৰ ঢেৰ আৰু ক'ৰবাত সুপ্ৰিমেচি অফ ল দেখিব ক'ৰবাত এবছলিউট সুপ্ৰিমেচি দেখিব ক'ৰবাত এবছলিউট আৰু কিছুমান ৱৰ্ড থাকে এবছলিউট ল এনিথিং য'ত আপোনালোকৰ দিছে যে লতকে ওপৰত কোন এনেকুৱা যেতিয়া আপোনাৰ ষ্টেটমেণ্টটো মিনিং বুজাইছে ৰিলেটেড টু ৰুল অফ ল দ্য ছেম থিং জাষ্ট তাৰ চিননিমাছলি টু ইউজ হয়. অ'কে, আৰু কিবা যদি ডাউট আছে কুইকলি দেন উইল কণ্টিনিউ উইথ দ্য ছেশ্যন. 1 more minute. Okay, last 1 more minute. প্লিজ মেক শ্যোৰ যে আপোনালোকে প্ৰিলিমছ পইণ্ট অফ ভিউ সেইটো পাহৰি নাযায় হা. এতিয়া এই গোটেই বস্তুখিনি আপোনাৰ ইন লক্ষ্মীকান্ত এপ্ৰক্সিমেটলি 60-70 পেজেছ আছে বাট উই আৰ ট্ৰাইং টু সামাৰাইজ ইট চ' দেট আপোনালোকে 4-5টা শ্লাইডত পঢ়ি পেলাই প্ৰিলিমছৰ কুৱেশ্যন যাতে ক্লিয়াৰ হৈ যায়. চ' মেক শ্যোৰ দেট ইউ হেভ অল দি ডাউটছ ক্লিয়াৰ ৰাইট নাও ৰাইট হিয়াৰ. অ'কে, পিছতকৈ নহ'লে মানে টেক্সটত বহুত বস্তু আছে কিন্তু আমি সেইখিনি চব ইগন'ৰ কৰিম. এতিয়া ৰাইট নাও ৰেপিডলি যদি আপুনি পঢ়িব বিচাৰিছে লাষ্ট মিনিট ৰিভিজন কৰিব বিচাৰিছে এইখিনিয়ে বস্তু চালে মেইন কথা. এনিবডি এলছ এনিথিং এলছ চ' আই উইল কণ্টিনিউ যদি কিবা ডাউট থাকে. য়েছ, ছামৱান হেজ আনমিউটেড. অ'কে, এনিৱে চ' আই থিংক আই বিলিভ যদি কিবা ডাউট থাকে প্লিজ লেট মি ন' chat session to কৈ দিলে হ'ল. মই ফ'ৰ্চ মিউটটো আকৌ অন কৰি দিছোঁ. ৰাইট, MCQ and concepts with বুজাই দিয়া. sure MCQ will definitely do. সেইটো মই অলৰেডি কৈছোঁৱে আজি মই ছেশ্যনৰ ষ্টাৰ্টিঙতো কৈছোঁ. আজি যদিও সময় নহয় দেন টুমৰো উইল ষ্টাৰ্ট উইথ MCQ only. okay, for fundamental rights at least. বাকিখিনি আমি ধৰি লওক আপোনালোকৰ যেনেকৈ ক্লাছবিলাক গৈ থাকিব তেনেকৈ আমি কিছুমান MCQ প্ৰভাইড কৰি দিম ইন দি গ্ৰুপ ইটছেল্ফ বাট ফৰ নাও এটলিষ্ট উই আৰ টাৰ্গেটিং যে ফাৰ্ষ্ট কোৰ্চটো শেষ হৈ লওক এটলিষ্ট 28 ডেজ আমাৰ টাৰ্গেট আছে চ' 28 to 30 ডেজ যোনটো হয় এটলিষ্ট কোৰ্চটো শেষ হৈ লওক তাৰে মাজতে এটা কুৱেশ্যন আমি ডেফিনেটলি কাইলৈ ছেশ্যনৰ পৰা ষ্টাৰ্ট দিম আজি হয়তো সেই ছেশ্যনটো I said it in the beginning itself. Aji hoito MCQ solve hobo pare, but we'll definitely do it from tomorrow onwards. Okay. All right. Let's move on to our next equality. Right, fundamental right, which is right to freedom. It is right to freedom. What moi apna priority basis ot koi diu. Ekdom direct kotha. Article number 20, 22 pra questions ajaleke bana nai. Okay. 21, 21A favorite questions hoy. 19 or pra apna lokor mostly questions bana nai. Okay, direct teneke questions bana nai again I'll repeat here article 20 22 pra questions teneke bana nai aru ami akha kora nai je bonibo boli 19 or pra teneke questions ahar chances kom thake but we will still study and 21 21A these are the two favorite topics of their question making process fundamental rights okay so still ami one by one guti kita sai lo putukke article number 19 it guarantees 6 rights okay article number 19 ot 6 right thake 6 sub clause ase tate koy freedom ase amar okay now listen to this very carefully it's just a simple concept you don't have to stress much on technicalities here ekdom simple concept hoy the first form concept is our freedom ase okay right to freedom under article 19 e koy we have freedom of speech and expression amar ji morji ami take kobo paro okay speech and expression this is also in the preamble now see how we will link it preamble ot amar eta topic asile eta point asile liberty of মই কৈছিলো এখানে preamble খন আপোনালোকে মুখস্থ মাৰি লব liberty of thought expression faith belief faith and worship liberty of thought expression belief and faith and worship right মানে পূজা কৰা হেৰি কৰা হেতু আমি পিছত যাম but first itself liberty of thought expression belief thought and expression this is here it comes from article number 19 আপোনালোকে বা আমি বা মই জি মৰ্জি এটা মই জি মৰ্জি তাকে ক'ব পাৰিম okay that is the freedom that have been given by article number 19 by default যদি আমি ক'ব পাৰো এটা ধৰি লওক মই আপোনালোকক কৈ আছো okay so I can also tell other people I can tell you individually or I can tell to an assembly okay যদি আমি assembly ক'ব পাৰো তেতিয়া হলে আমি association form কৰিব পাৰো for example trade union for example our student union so that is an association ami kotha khini koisu hoy but like minded people we can form an assembly aru he assembly to ami formal association mane hoy gole eta formal group eta naam di dia hobo that also you can form jodi association ase association and everything assembly speech and expression is at a localized region je yate ami kotha patisu yate ami assembly form koisu yate ami association form koisu but at the same time we also have freedom of movement okay we have a freedom of movement je from this portion of the country we can go to that portion of the country we can go to abroad যদি আমাৰ মুভমেন্টৰ ফ্ৰীডম আছে দেন আমাৰ থাকাৰ ফ্ৰীডম আছে তাৰ মানে ৰেসিডেন্স ওকে we can make house we can make a home we can make buildings we can make any form of residence okay and the last one is if we can speak if we can stay then we can also work we also have a freedom of profession আমি যি কোনো ধৰণৰ profession আমি ল'ব পাৰো again the moment I mentioned all of these, it seems like there are no exceptions, but enekwa nohoy. Like I said, no particular article is without an exception. Okay? There is a statement here. This is the most important. Gute constitution khonot amar ajir dinot je controversies hoy. Ajir dinot je ami ko fundamental rights kini amar follow e nohoy dekhun. Jodi amar odhikar ase code ase odhikar. That is because of these particular statements. Apnaloke a particular statement kita as it is not rakhibo. Gute constitution or ground hoy kita that key basis on what basis can the state impose restrictions. Tar mane jodi mur freedom ase that is right. So I have freedom of speech and expression. I have freedom to assemble. I have freedom to form associations. I can move freely. I can also reside and settle in one part of the country. I can practice any profession, but only on the grounds that it does not threaten the sovereignty and integrity of India. Okay? Mur kuno kothaye বা আমার কোনো অ্যাসেম্বলি বা আমার কোনো অ্যাসোসিয়েশনে ইন্ডিয়ার সভারেন্টি এন্ড ইন্টিগ্রিটি হোয়াট ইজ সভারেন্টি এন্ড ইন্টিগ্রিটি ইণ্ডিয়াৰ যোনটো মেইন ইউনিটি হওক, ইণ্টিগ্ৰিটি হওক, শান্তি হওক, স্থাপনা হওক, it should not threaten it. Okay. Second হৈছে it should not threaten the security of state. Okay. Fourth, a third, very important, public order. মোৰ কোনো এটা কথাই কমিউনেল হ'ব নোৱাৰে. I cannot be inciting violence. I cannot be terrorizing violence. Okay, so that is important. মনত ৰাখিব. Fourth হৈছে morality and contempt of court. Wait, where is it? Sorry. Wait, yeah, morality. Fourth is say morality. Okay, any kind of, I cannot be immoral just because for the sake of saying it. I cannot simply tell them that Buddhism is the best and Hinduism is not good. Hebla kotha mo out of immorality kobo nuaru. Okay, and then there is an option of contempt of court. You cannot say or like mention in any time যে at any point of your discussions you can never say যে court যদি order দিছে it is wrong. That is called contempt of court. Okay, ইয়াত কিয় actually হেৰি হয়, if you say whatever the court has ordered or whatever the court has decided, it is not in the right mind বা জাজক আমি ডিফেম কৰিব নোৱাৰো, কোৰ্টক আমি মুঠতে কোনো ধৰণৰ বেয়াকে ক'ব নোৱাৰো. That is contempt of court. Okay, so you can see that there are many grounds on which article number 19 is actually restricted. যে আপোনালোকে ক'ব পাৰিব বা মই ক'ব পাৰিম, but it should not threaten the sovereignty integrity. আৰু যোনকেইটা মই ব্লুত কৈ থৰিছোঁ সেইকেইটাই most important হয়. They are asked in exam. Sovereignty and integrity of India, public order, morality, contempt of court, security of state তাতে সোমাই যায়. Sorry, friendly relations with foreign states তাতে অলমোষ্ট সোমায়. চ' তিনিটা চাৰিটা আপোনাৰ যোনকেইটা প্ৰিলিমছত সোধে, those are mostly sovereignty and integrity, security, public order, morality. এইকেইটা word as it is মনত ৰাখিব. Okay, as it is, please memorize them. Ekdom as it is, that you can the state can basically impose restrictions on you. You can be restricted on which grounds? Number 1, sovereignty and integrity jodi apnaloke threaten korise, security of state jodi threaten hoise, ei keyword kita monot rakhibo. Public order, morality, contempt of court. Okay, defamation, incitement of offense egla usually nohude. The ones which are marked in blue, those are asked the most. Okay, next article number 19, like I said, first tupra eneke question nohudhe, but just the gist ekhini hoy, you can remember these. Etia dholok aru exceptions ase. Exception eta to mo koi dlu jonu major exception hoy, ekhini jontu what are the grounds buli koy, eneka direct question aibo pare. This you can check. Kintu for example assemble to amar eta ase article. We know that section 144 141 corona time mot amar usually ebla logaisile section 144 141 jot 141 jeneke pasta manu ke besi good khabo nware কোনোবা ডিস্ট্রিক্ট এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনে চাইটাও কৈ দিয়ে চাইটা মানুহতকৈ বেছি গোট খাব নোৱাৰে. অ'কে, ছেকশ্যন 141 অফ IPC, ছেকশ্যন 144 অফ CRPC. এতিয়া এইখিনি চেঞ্জ হ'ল নামখিনি, ভাৰত নাগৰিক সাক্ষৰতা কি সংগ্ৰহিতা বিল বা তেনেকুৱা নামখিনি চেঞ্জ হ'ল আমাৰ এইখিনি. বাট ষ্টিল এইখিনি যিহেতু মই লক্ষ্মীকান্তৰ পৰা কপি কৰা, এতিয়া তাত CRPC আছিলে পুৰণা সেইখনত. চ' এনিৱে ইউ কেন চেক দিছ আউট. Next is forming associations. Ebla to mo kolue profession ami tatu we cannot take terrorism as a profession. Hebla exceptions ase. The Indian constitution does not allow prostitution as a profession. Hetu kobo nware. Right to reside, movement ot apna kisuman restrictions ase. For example, AIDS patients, they cannot move freely. Prostitutes, they cannot move freely. Okay, so there are some restrictions ekhini apnaloke sabo pare, but ekhinit iman board in depth analysis nalage. Like I said, okay, the main point that is important is what are the grounds of restriction. Hetu hudhe directly aru apnaloko khutibo je eta right to etu yate nai. Oh yeah, this one, property junto eta asile hetu eta asile nuhude etu again, but amar he particular point to amar delete hoise. Right to property amar acquire, hold, dispose property etu asile, but 44th amendment tot amar hetu delete hoy goise. A property related junto amar controversy ase, we will do it in amendment chapter ami korim. Okay, right now it is not that relatable to article of fundamental rights, so for now we'll stick to article number 19 or just A part 2. ekhini important hoy from prelims point of view, you can make a note of it. আচ্ছা, ইয়াতে মই এটা এক্সট্ৰা পইণ্ট দিছোঁ. দিছ ওৱান আগেন, চিন্স ষ্টেটমেণ্ট বেছড কুৱেশ্যনছবিলাক আহে সেইকাৰণে আই হেভ মেনশ্যন দিছ হিয়াৰ. freedom of movement বুলি ক'লে okay এটা আছে internal movement এটা হৈছে external internal মানে from in within the country right to move inside the country okay তাতো কিছুমান freedom of movement restrictions আছে for example not restrictions but যেনেকে ILP লয় okay from Arunachal Nagaland to লয় right হেখিনি যেনেকে ILP লয় হে ILP খিনি আমাৰ restriction নহয় কিন্তু yes those are certain exceptions to freedom of movement আমি ILP নোলোৱাকে Arunachal Pradesh সোমাব নোৱাৰো হে বস্তুটো that you can check আৰু এটা আছে external movement right to move out of the country and right to come back to country which is abroad okay article 19 এ আমাৰ প্ৰথমটো protect কৰে এটো মনত ৰাখিব যেতিয়া আমি right to abroad বুলি কওঁ বা moving right to move out of the country এটো আকৌ article 21 ৰ আন্ডাৰত আছে এটো কনফিউজ নহব এটো ডাইৰেক্ট এটা কোৱেশ্চন আছিলে বহুত পুৰণা কিছুমান এক্সামত not in APSC but যদি লিখে right to move inside the country that is protected by article 19 but right to move abroad eto apnaloke Lakshmikantото sabo pare eta particular article ase tate right to move abroad under article number 21 sorry tate likha thakibo so article number 21 it guarantees that etu portion to move out of the country and to come back to the country this is a question of personal life and liberty okay this is just an extra information article 19 under thake boli motu add up koisu aru etu monot rakhibo internal ot apunar ILP kotha eta ahe so yes there are a few exceptions je freedom of movement amar kisuman states are restricted hoy okay all right so this one is all about article 19 let's move to article 20 ya priority kom hoy article 20 hoise once a person commits an offense he manuturu kisuman freedom thakibo for example eta person arrest hobologia ase ba arrest hoise ba arrest hoi pla tekhetok he manujonok already convict mane ki hoy court e kodle je hi opradi hoy ba tekhet opradi hoy so that particular person will also have some freedom বা protection basically freedom to kobo nwari although it is between under the right to freedom so tate kisuman protection ase tinta major protection ase sorry first is that no ex post facto law iska matlab kya hai for example aji dinot moi I committed a crime okay but মোৰ হে ক্রাইম টু কারণে 2 বছৰ জেল হ'ব লাগে listen to this very carefully okay exam ত এটো prelims ৰ কাৰণে ইমান ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট নহয় but directly এই টার্ম কেটা ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হয় because আহি যাব পাৰে statement based questions আহি যাব পাৰে so আজি মই এটা ক্রাইম কমিট কৰিছো তাৰ হে ক্রাইম টুৰ আমাৰ according to the supreme court or high court whatever it is the punishment is 2 years let's say the case is going on okay and I have been considered a convict মোক কোৱা হৈছে that yes মই to crime to কৰিছো I have to be punished for 2 years for the same crime 2 years later in 2026 there is a new law okay and then it said that for that particular crime 2 বছৰ নহয় 3 বছৰ হ'ব 3 years will be the punishment so now that I have been convicted I will not be okay sekane etu koha hoise no person shall be convicted okay for the second line penalty greater that prescribed by the law at the time of the commission of the act moi junina sur korisilu suppose moi crime korisilu aji dinot kintu mur 2 বছৰ মানে হেৰি পোৱা কথা আছিলে I will be punished only for 2 years. But 2 years later, let's say in 2026, again if the law is revised, or jodi koi de same crime to karne 3 বছৰ koi dise, at that point the court cannot say, okay, now you will be punished for 3 years. No. At the time I had committed the crime, it was 2 years. So more penalty to 2 years hoi thakibo. Okay? So that is why this is an important act. Okay, because hobo pare amar law bla change hoi thakibo pare so you see the constitution was beautifully designed for many people as a whole for many persons kiman geta viewpoint dekhi pelai the particular constitution was made okay so this is called the no ex post facto eto eta latin term hoy ex post facto mane pisot okay pisot law bonwa কোনো ধৰণৰ পিছতকে ল বনোৱাৰ যোনটো পেনাল্টি হ'ব হেতু আগতীয়াকে যদি হে ক্রাইমটো হৈ গৈছে তাত এপ্লাই নহব ওকে as read out the statement no person shall be convicted of any offense except for violation of a law in force at the time of the commission of the act the same thing যোনটো মই ক'লো মাত্ৰ except for violation of a law in the law in force যোনটো আমাৰ law asile law in force মানে law যোনটো আছে আজি দিনত কমিশন অফ দ্য এক্ট মানে যেটা এক্ট টু হৈছিলে at the time যোনটো সময়ত এক্ট টু হৈছিলে সেই সময়ত যোনটো আমাৰ offense asile juntu amar saza asile, only that much will be done, that much penalty will be provided. Okay, no double jeopardy. Eta offense karne moi for the same crime I will not be punished twice or more than once. Okay, I'll not be punished more than once. If I've committed a murder today, I will not be punished twice. Hetu eta important. No self incrimination, which means that moi nijor against nijoke witness koribo nwaro. Okay, I will not be a witness for myself. Witness that third party ejone hobo. Yat kisuman exceptions ase, but those are not important from prelims point of view. Yato kisuman exceptions ase, but those are not important from prelims point of view. From prelims point of view, the most important point in article number 20 is these three statements, or egita jodi apnalo keyword dhori thobo. Double jeopardy, no, there is a no in all of these. Ex post facto law no hobo, double jeopardy no hobo, self incrimination no hobo. Okay, no ex post facto, I'll repeat, ki hoy, it means that aji did not move juntu. Okay, the person will only be convicted for the violation of law at the time, it either keyword hoy, at the time of the commission of act. Commission mane huatu, jetia he act to hoisile he samoyte juntu law asile he mote ji violation hoise, ji offense hoise, hetu he dhora hobo. Pisotke ba penalty jodi bahi jaye, tetia pisotke commission of act or pisot jodi tenaka kiba ta hoy hetu mote kintu nohoy. Okay, so consider the statement, olop buji lok, statement bilak olop yatki easy ki ahibo exam ot, iman ghurai pokai nahe. No double jeopardy, that means eta particular offense karne dubar punishment dia nohobo. No self incrimination, mane moi ejon person nijor against the criminal witness ketiao nohoy. Okay, the next one is protection of life and personal liberty, very important. Okay, yat juntu main important prelims point of view per statement hoise this one. Yar bahire Lakshmikantot bahut dighole ase, you can give it a read. Junkhini amar statement ase বা content আছে, but teneke bor bikhik eta prelims pa question nobone. Prelims se eki question banega. Article number 21 says that no person shall be deprived of his or her, his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Yate eta beleg eta ase due process of law. Okay, in the American Constitution it is due process of law. In the Indian Constitution it is procedure established by law. A part to ami parliament ot akusam. Okay, what is procedure established by law and what is due process of law, we will check in the parliament section. Taru moi eta horuke gist eta disu. Procedure established mane law by law hoise that in the meantime jodi amar parliament eta law pass kori die je eneka case ot amar personal liberty nohobo pare, that will be considered. But due process of law hoise that particular law, it will be checked by the parliament itself je etu is it hurting the liberty or not. So again, this is a bit technical, so etia ami extensively na jao. You will not understand. There are few other things that we need to understand before understanding this concept. So for now, just understand a statement to as it is monot rakhibo, procedure established by law. Okay, personal life and liberty procedure established by law against what hoy, not due process of law. Okay, a statement to hotai monot rakhibo je amar personal liberty is no person shall be deprived of it, but only except according to the procedure established by law. Okay, as it is question by to 21A, very very important top priority topic hoy to 21A is free and free and compulsory. A duta keyword hoy, free hoy or compulsory hoy, both words are important. One, there'll be free education. Second, compulsory mane koriboi lagibo. Okay, education or kuntu span of age, very important keywords, 6 to 14. Okay, tar mane only elementary. Third key point, high school college or karne free and compulsory no hoy, only from 6 to 14, which is class 1 to 9 ideally. Class 10 or pra till college university whatever it is hekhini free and compulsory no hobo pare, kintu 6 to 14 or leke it is the um, right of a child to get free and compulsory education. Okay, very important. Kuntu particular amendment hoisile, amendment to ami etu bostu sam, but in advance apnalok কৈ থৈছো, apnaloke sai থাকিব 86th constitutional amendment 2002 monot rakhibo. The direct question will be which of the following provisions were added by 86th constitutional amendment. The answer is article 21A. What is article 21A? A hoy amended hoy, he karne monot rakhibo constitution amendment hoar karne pisot ke add hoise. Okay, 21A. What is the article speak about? It speaks about free and compulsory education. Kak dibo? To children from 6 to 14 keywords. That means it is only elementary education keyword. Okay, egita word dekhile apnaloke monot rakhibo. This is from article number 21A. Ebla statements hoy that you can add up. Ekhini pdf no mo share korime. Normal statements hoy teneke nahibo pare, but jehetu ajikali statement based question ahe, so koi dibo pare which of the following article refers to the dawn of second revolution. So that is article number 21A. Okay. Right of children to free and compulsory education, RT Act, it is short form hoy. RT Act. This is again in accordance with Article 21A. Directly ahibo RT Act car against thought ba kuntu particular fundamental right against thought bonwa hoisile. Voice break hoise. Voice break hoise neki? মই এতিয়াহে দেখিছোঁ মেছেজটো সবে শুনা পাইছে এবাৰ চ্যাটত কৈ দিব যদি শুনা পোৱা নাই ইজ ইট ক্লিয়াৰ নাও okay 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 all right so these are the few points article 21A baki jimankhini ase you can give it a general reading these are the main points from prelims point of view now is the shortcut a baki khini article apnaloke olopman jodi single statement to porhile more than enough not a very important I mean from prelims point of view both questions nobone article 18 like I said is about titles 22 is about punitive detention ekhini moi eta slide bharai thoisu apnaloke olopman sai lobo pare yate a hours kita important hoy kiman hours or kane ejon magistrate detention koribo pare hetu maximum hudibo pare punitive detention to ki hoy preventive detention ki hoy definition khini yate ase but not so very important from prelims point of view 23 term beggar and bonded labor to olop sai lobo 24 eta bostu important hoy it prohibits the employment of children hetu thike ase year to apnaloke sabo 14 years hoy okay quote factory mine any hazardous this is a keyword hazardous ho pare jeneke ere kisuman manuhe kobo pare je parents e kisuman jolok bagania etia heri ilaka bilagote apnaloke nishchoy dekhise je junkhini poli thake bacha bila thake tehetoke kheti bati ba teneke logai die so that somehow comes from here employment in any harmless or innocent work মাক দেউতাকে যেটা নিজৰ বাচ্চাখিনি হেৰি কৰে that does not come under child labor okay so that is given by the constitution itself but other than that factory hawk mine hawk even in hotels and construction are tatu teneke child labor is not allowed but ঘৰৰ কামত যদি লগায় ঘৰৰ দোকানত যদি বহি আছে that will not be considered child labor okay হেতু কাৰণে মই এটো এক্সট্ৰা এড কৰি থোৱা আছে 26 27 28 29 30 এইখিনি articles you can just check upor apnaloke any reading eta marile hol baki in depth junkhini asile I already share korisue that much even if you do it's more than enough for prelims okay 22 okay next is right to freedom of religion all right অলপ সাকে আপোনালোকৰ ভাগৰ লাগিছে বাট যথেষ্টখিনি হৈছেগে আৰু বেছি নাই এই দুটা আছে আৰু 32 to অলপমান টাইম লাগিব at least these two we can cover I'll give a 5 minutes break after 5-10 minutes tar pisot apnaloke like we can hold the session again olop dighole jabo aru kabar amoni lagise niki if you need a break you can put it in the chat list okay I'll instantly provide a break all right so right to freedom of religion again shortcut marim okay yate these are the keywords see article number 25 to sobotke beshi important hoy in particular in this particular right to freedom of religion ya under 25 or 28 leke ase so article number 25 is the most important one okay yate kwa hoise every religion okay there is a freedom of conscience and free profession mane ami ji kono dharma religious dharma ami nije follow koribo paru if I am a hindu today then I have the full right to convert to a muslim or a jain or a Sikhism religion okay you can practice profession ase mane ami kobo paru practice koribo paru propagation o koribo paru okay propagation will always be there but what is the exception here propagate kora pisot je ami ko je kisumane communal hoi jay hetu karne everything this one etu statement apnaloke monot rakhibo public order morality health and other provisions related to fundamental rights public order kunnu poide hamper koribo nware morality hamper koribo nware health and other provisions or other koi dia loge it's an open thing it becomes a wide ambit the law and order can include anything here hetu karne what happens is controversies like basic hoy Okay, sovereignty, integrity আমি কিমান এক্সটেন্টলৈ কনসিডাৰ কৰিম, মোৰালিটি আমি কি কনসিডাৰ কৰিম, পাব্লিক অৰ্ডাৰ কি কনসিডাৰ কৰিম, এইখিনি বস্তু আমাৰ কনষ্টিটিউশ্যনত লিখা নাই. ইট ইজ নট এক্সপ্লেইন দ্যাট প্ৰপাৰলি. Just the words are written and it can be interpreted by the authorities as it is. Hetu karone olopman keteba controversies arise hoy jay. Okay, but we'll not go into that. Here from prelims point of view, like I said, article number 25 is very very important. Our content on egita keywords abo what are allowed. There is profession, practice, propagation. It tinta P ase. Profession, practice and propagation. Okay. Article number 26 is manage religious affairs. It's a normal topic. Jeneke religious affairs kini hokam hol, kabar girjat hol, kabar masjidot hol. You can always manage the religious affairs. Freedom of payment of taxes, very important. 25 and 27 are important. Okay. Yate in depth nalage, just idea too, not in depth like I said, but 20 all of these you just have to understand the statement itself. Tar pora question ahibo, in depth question nahe taneke. Freedom of payment of taxes for promotion of any religion important hoy, because why, আমি যেটা এখন মন্দিৰলৈ যাওঁ কেতিয়াও আপোনালোকক এন্ট্ৰি পাস দিয়া নিদিয়ে, কেতিয়াও আমি গীৰ্জা ঘৰলৈ যাওঁ তাতে কেতিয়াও এন্ট্ৰি নাথাকে, ফিজ নাথাকে. সো দ্যাট ইজ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট. দেৰ আৰ নো টেক্সেছ. আমি তাতে গৈ পেলাই ডোনেশ্যন দিওঁ, তাতে গৈ পেলাই কিবা যদি দান পাত্ৰ দিওঁ, দ্যাটছ এ ডিফাৰেণ্ট থিং. That is not a tax. Nobody is forced. Okay, nobody is forced. So remember this, any form of freedom is free from payment, sorry, any form of religion is free from payment of taxes. Okay, there is no promotion of religion. Keteo religion promote koribo nware apuni, keteo advertisement koribo nware. Okay, that come and join Sikhism, come and become a Christian, come and become a Hindu, you cannot do that. All right, next is freedom of from attending religious instruction or worship in certain educational institutions. Certain হেকাৰণে লিখা হৈছে because কিছুমান যদি এটা ধৰি লওক মিশনাৰিজ থাকে বা ধৰি লওক মাদ্ৰাছাছ থাকে, তো তাত মোষ্টলি খ্ৰীষ্টিয়ান এণ্ড হেৰিয়ে থাকিব, মানে মুছলিম কনচেন্ট্ৰেটেড থাকিব. বাট ধৰি লওক আমাৰ এতিয়া কেভি হৈ গ'ল, কেন্দ্ৰীয় বিদ্যালয় হৈ গ'ল, নৰ্মেল জাতীয় বিদ্যালয় হৈ গ'ল, তাতে চব ধৰ্মৰ মানুহ চব ধৰ্মৰ ষ্টুডেণ্টছ একেলগে পঢ়ে. চ' হোৱাট এভাৰ let's say if the school is free, or you can say that যিকোনো ধৰণৰ যদি কিবা ৰিলিজিয়াছ ফেষ্টিভেল পাতিছে, চ' তাতে ইট ইজ নট ফ'ৰ্চড যে আপোনালোক আহিবই লাগিব বা জইন কৰিবই লাগিব. ভাইচাৰা থাকে তাত, দে অল চেলিব্ৰেটেড টুগেডাৰ. দ্যাট কাইণ্ড অফ এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট হেজ, দেৰ ইজ আ ফ্ৰীডম টু ক্ৰিয়েট that particular kind of environment. Okay, so all of this comes under the ambit of freedom of religion. Most important, article 25 monot rakhibo, these 3 P's are important: profession, practice, propagation. As it is monot rakhibo, question ahile directly ahibo profession, practice and propagation, tar logote aru kiba tar add kori dibo, it comes under the right to freedom of religion. Okay, so there you have to be careful and you'll just go for these 3 P's only. Okay, 26 manage religious affairs, 27 no taxes, 28 freedom of attending religious instructions. Okay, next was a cultural and education rights. Again iman important right nohoy, just statement to jodi apnaloke jane more than enough. Okay, minorities definition nai, like I said, the definition of minorities is not given in the constitution. So but a minorities kini language, script and culture ami protect koribo lagibo, that is in article 29. Second hoise minorities and nijor educational institutions bonabo pare, hetu karone madrasas, missionary schools, St. Mary's, Don Bosco eblak apnaloke hunise, these might be the educational institutions koribo pare in terms of protection to the minorities. Okay, বেছি ইন ডেপথ একো নালাগে, জাষ্ট দি আৰ্টিকেল ইটসেল্ফ ইউ ৰিড মোৰ দেন এনাফ. যোনকেইটা ইন ডেপথ কৰিব আছিলে আমি অলৰেডি কৰিছোঁ. The last one is the right to constitutional remedies. Right to constitutional remedies is the article which in itself protects the other fundamental duties. Oh, sorry, rights. Okay, Article 32 যোনটো ফেমাছ ষ্টেটমেণ্ট এটা আছে, এইটো বহুত প্ৰিলিমছৰ আগতে আহে, আজিকালি আহেনে নাহে নাজানো, আৰু দেখিছোঁ ৰিচেণ্টলি বেলেগ কিছুমান ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টেল এক্সামছত দেখিছোঁ, APSC কভাৰ কৰিব পাৰে নকৰিব পাৰে, বাট ইটছ এ ভেৰি কমন থিং. সোল অফ দি কনষ্টিটিউশ্যন বুলি ক'লে আৰ্টিকল 32, এইটো আৰু আপোনালোকে যেতিয়া পলিটি APSC যদি সোমাইছে তে মুখস্থ মাৰিয়ে ল'ব আৰু 32 ইজ দি সোল অফ দি কনষ্টিটিউশ্যন. মেনি কুৱেশ্যনছ ইউ উইল চি ফ্ৰম হিয়াৰ, এটলিষ্ট প্ৰিভিয়াছ ইয়াৰ্ছ APSC থাকিলেতো 3-4 বাৰ আহিছে মিনিমাম with the very heart of it. Eto usually hude, mostly etwe hude. Which of the following article is called the soul of the constitution? Directly hibo soul of the constitution kuntu article number koa jay, it is article number 32. Okay, article number 32 kebatao subsection ase, Okay, these 4 subsections are there. Yet sobotke jonto important subsection hoise, that is article 32.2. Etu monot rakhibo 32.2. Okay, 32.2 আমি যে কৈ আছো protect কৰে fundamental rights amar protect kore eta fundamental right e. One single fundamental right is protecting all the other 5 fundamental rights. Okay, here 1 2 3 4 5 6 a particular fundamental right to a pasta fundamental right protect kori ase. How? In any case jodi a pasta fundamental right or pra kunuba etao jodi violate hoy, who has the power? We have the power. We as citizens, amar hai fundamental right, we have the power to go. Where do we go? To the court. Which court? Both the Supreme Court and the High Court. Okay, please listen to this carefully. If any of these fundamental rights from any from any 5 of these, if any of these fundamental rights are violated, okay, violated মানে যদি ফলো হোৱা নাই, যদি আপোনাক সেই অধিকাৰটো দিয়া নাই, যদি দিয়া নাই, then we have the right. What is the right? We can go. Where can we go? Whom can we approach? We can approach the Supreme Court or the High Court that our fundamental right is not being enforced, যে আমাৰ fundamental right to violate হৈছে, আমাৰ অধিকাৰটো আমি পোৱা নাই. Okay, that particular thing, that particular power to go to the Supreme Court is actually called writs. এই যে আমি প্ৰচেছটোত গৈ কিবাটোতো কম সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টক যে সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্ট আমাৰ ফাণ্ডামেণ্টেল ৰাইটটো ভাইলেট হৈছে, আমাৰ অধিকাৰটো আমি পোৱা নাই, সেইকাৰণে আমি এটা কমপ্লেইন ইছ্যু কৰিম, আৰু সেই কমপ্লেইনটো কি বুলি কয় এক্সেক্টলি, দেট কমপ্লেইন ইট চেল্ফ ইজ কল্ড দি ৰিটছ। ইন ভেৰি চিম্পল লেংগুৱেজ দেট কমপ্লেইন ইজ নাথিং বাট ইছ্যুইং ৰিটছ। ইছ্যু কৰা বুলি কয় যেনেকৈ আমি ৰেজিষ্টাৰ ইছ্যু কৰোঁ, যেনেকৈ আমি কমপ্লেইন ইছ্যু কৰোঁ, যেনেকৈ আমি লাইব্ৰেৰীত গৈ পেলাই বুক ইছ্যু কৰোঁ, ইন দ্য ছেইম ৱে উই কেন ইছ্যু আ ৰিট। Writ, W to silent hoyat, WRITS. Okay, when are writs issued? Ekdom universal hoy to jodi amar fundamental rights khini prohibit hoy, I mean violate hoy. Second kotha to hoise writs kune issue koribo pare? Both Supreme Court and High Court. Okay, both Supreme Court and High Court. Yate eta catch ase, Supreme Court can issue junto amar article 32 under ase, hetu under only Supreme Court can issue. কিন্তু হাইকোর্টে যোনটো আমাৰ ৰিটছ ইস্যু কৰে, সেইটো ৰিটছ ইস্যু কৰা সেইটো আৰ্টিকেল নম্বৰটো বেলেগ হয়, দেট ইজ আৰ্টিকেল নম্বৰ 26। নাও দিছ ইজ আ জেনেৰেল ৰিডিং, এইটো আপোনালোকে ইন জেনেৰেল চাব পাৰে, মইতো দেখাই দিম, পঢ়ি দিম, এই গোটেইটোৰ পৰা জাষ্ট এটা এটা ষ্টেটমেণ্ট কি ৱৰ্ডে ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয়। বাট বিফৰ দেট লেটছ গো বেক হিয়াৰ, I'll go back to this one, that this particular junto amar norm ase, okay, etu monot rakhibo kuntu article 32 kuntu clause ase, 2 number clause ase, etu monot rakhibo 32.2 that says that writs will be issued. Okay, that says that writs will be issued. Second kotha tu hoise who has the power or who has the authority to make the law to empower the court. Courtok je teheti he particular jurisdiction bilak ba writs bilak je issue koribo pare, hetu kune law to banaব pare? Parliament. Again, like I said, apnaloke ei question to jetiao pai, this is a trick, jetiao law making kiba question pai, ketiao president prime minister na jabo, you can directly go to Parliament. The answer will always be Parliament. Or etu question ahe, who has the power to do this, who has the power to do that, who has the power to form states, jeneke ami article 1 2 3 pohisilu je 3 number to the Parliament has the power to make the law, নতুন state bonwa, নতুন state bhanga বা state add kora, okay, join kora, combine kora, anything and everything, the Parliament has the power. So all in total here the main idea is 32 is the soul of the constitution. Etu prelims er karone very important hoy, already hudiye thake. The second important point is article 32.2. okay, 32 to hoy kintu clause exactly kuntu hoy number, second number clause to hoy. Okay, first to simply koise je right to move Supreme Court by appropriate he to likhai ase, apnaloke eta reading marile ho jabo, very simple English, tene ba ko tan no hoy. Second kotha to hoise that the writs will be issued. Writs ami ketia issue korim jetia amar fundamental rights bilak violate hobo. Third kotha to hoise article 32 according kuntu court issue korise? Supreme Court. এটো কিন্তু মন কৰিব দেই, যদি লিখা থাকে the right to constitutional remedies in article 32 is given by will be enforced by Supreme Court, High Court, both Supreme Court or High Court, only High Court, the answer will be Supreme Court only. কিন্তু তাতে যদি লিখি দিয়ে article number 22 26, তেতিয়া it will be High Court. Okay, under Article 226, the High Court can issue writs. Basically, দুইটা article বেলেগ বেলেগ সেইকাৰণে আছে because Supreme Court গোটেই all over India jurisdiction থাকে. Okay, but High Court jurisdiction is only where the High Court is. কেইটামান states and গুৱাহাটীত আমাৰ কেইটামান states আছে বা ধৰি লওক বিহাৰত হ'লে বিহাৰত fundamental right আমাৰ গুৱাহাটীত যদি কিবা fundamental right আমাৰ suppose আমি High Courtত যদি যাব বিচাৰো তেতিয়া আমি বিহাৰৰ High Courtলৈ নাযাওঁ তেতিয়া আমি under Article 226 আমি গুৱাহাটী High Courtতহে যাম. Okay, so that way, that is the first thing. So Supreme Court can issue writs only for enforcement of fundamental rights. Etu monot rakhibo. First difference to fundamental rights is equal to Supreme Court. Okay, not any other rights. But in case of High Court, etu monot rakhibo. Fundamental rights plus ordinary rights. Duitai hoy. Okay, plus ordinary rights duitai hoy. Ordinary legal right to jodi apna enforce hona then you can issue a writ, but fundamental rights alone, that will only be for Supreme Court. So hetu karone koa jay je Supreme Court has a narrower, I'll show the statement here, man bad handwriting on likhat ko. This one, the writ jurisdiction of Supreme Court is narrower because Supreme Court all fundamental rights karone hai enforce koribo pare writs, but High Court can issue writs for both of them. Okay, this is mostly because Supreme Court or headache to komabole, actually in a way that you can understand. Second court কথাটো হৈছে Supreme Court can issue writs against a person in the entire territory of India. যোনটো মই কলো High Court to only in the territorial jurisdiction য'ত High Court খন আছে. Okay, remedy under 32 in itself is a fundamental right, so Supreme Court may not refuse. কেতিয়াও Supreme Court এ ক'ব নোৱাৰে. Okay, Supreme Court এ ক'ব নোৱাৰে যে এইটো fundamental right or এটা violate হোৱাৰ পিছত suppose আজি দিনত মই গৈ পেলাই ক'লো যে Supreme Court of মোৰ fundamental right violate হ'ল, I want to issue a writ. Okay, Supreme Court cannot say no. Supreme Court cannot refuse. Why? Because Article number 32 in itself is also a fundamental right. Okay, so it is bound to. That is the beauty of the fundamental rights, that the constitution makers were such genius people that কোনো পদ্ধতি লুপ হোলটো নাৰাখিলে মোৰ আজি ৰাইট টু ভাইলেট হৈছে সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টে এটা মানাও কৰিব নোৱাৰে কিন্তু হাই কোৰ্টে পাৰে because 226 is not a fundamental right. So this is a simple concept. এই প্ৰকাণ্ড ল্যাঙ্গুৱেজত হেতু লিখা আছে আপোনালোকক মই সিম্পলিফাই কৰি দিলো. In case if you're not understanding, go back and read it. It is simple English, বুজি পাব, but যদি বুজি নাপায় then you can get back to me, I'll explain it again. Okay, so these were the writs. আমাৰ কেতিয়া কোন কেটা কোনটো আৰ্টিকেল নম্বৰ মতে আমাৰ writs খিনি ইস্যু হ'ব পাৰে সেই বস্তুটো আছে. These were the fundamental rights or basic concepts. We'll quickly revise all these concepts again so that we can move on to the writs. Writs khini মই আজি short ke koi dim, kale parapokhot we can also extend it again. Hopefully you understand. Yeah, it was a network issue. ठीक है चलो, I'll quickly move on. এইখিনিতে এবাৰ চাই দিছো, এবাৰ ইমান আকিং বাকিং কৰিলে ওবা. Okay, so article number 14 সবে বুজি পাইছে, rule of law. আজি গুটে ক্লাসটো মই সামাৰাইজ কৰিছো since it was a long class. So this was the rule of law that we had started with, article number 14. Okay, কি হয় absence of arbitrary power, equality before law. Exceptions খিনি আছে, এখিনি আপোনালোকে general reading কৰিব, কিন্তু main হৈছে এটো 31C যত there is a DPSP called 39B and 39C. যেতিয়া এই কেটা DPSP against কোনোবা law বনিব, সেই কেটা law আমি কেতিয়াও ক'ব নোৱাৰো যে article number 14 violate কৰিছে, যত নেকি কৰিব. Again, ইয়াৰ concept আমি যেতিয়া DPSP কৰিম তেতিয়া আৰু clearly বুজি পাব, but for now remember, whenever the article 31C comes in, article 14 goes out. Okay, you'll understand it better when we do DPSP. Then we have article 15, eto ami পঢ়িছো already joa kaliu. 15.4, 15.5, 15.6, 15.3, these are important. Reservations of kotha koy. 15.6 is the one which talks about EWS, remember. Okay, article number 16, yeah sure, dim PDF dim. Article number 16 wherein we have reservation for appointments for backward classes. Our 16.48 ami promotion kotha ko, but kar ko OBC promotion kotha noko, only about SC and ST. Article 16 is for equality of opportunity in employment. Article 17 is about untouchability. It's an absolute article, there is no exception here, and these are the general offenses. Ekhini general reading hoy, ekhini not so important for prelims, this is important for prelims. Next is the right to equality. আমি এটা summary কৰিছিলো from 14 till 18. Okay, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. 18 is abolition of titles. ইয়াতে একদম মনত ৰাখিব, it is except for military and academic. সেইখিনি titles ল'ব পাৰে, বাকি ধৰণৰ যিকোনো titles, there are no titles that can be accepted, and every person is equal without এনেকুৱা নহয় যে sir বা lord লগাই দিলে he or she will have a higher privilege. Okay, next is article number 19 till 22. This is right to freedom. Right to freedom ot amar 19 ahe. Ekhini amar just tulmul ke apnaloke statement khini monot rakhile hol. Okay, speech and expression ase, assemble koribo pare, assemble korile association koribo pare, movement ase, movement korile recite koribo pare, and profession jikunu lobo pare. But on what grounds? This is not without exceptions, ekdom absolute nohoy. So the exceptions are sovereignty and integrity of India, security of state, public order, morality, contempt of court. Ekhini keteo hamper koribo nware, restrictions ekhini ase. Freedom of movement internal and external hoy. Internal movement is under the ambit of article 19, but external movement is under the ambit of article number 21. Etu monot rakhibo. Article number 20 tinta statement ase amar. No ex post facto, no double jeopardy, no self incrimination. Okay, article number 21 is personal life, is protection of life and personal liberty, but according to which only when a procedure established by law states, then only the personal liberty might be diminished. Ekhini ami ako jeta parliament ba heri korum tetia gom pam. Okay, article number 21 very 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 important from prelims point of view. Okay, free and compulsory education, year to monot rakhibo lagibo. Elementary education only, not higher education. College বা higher education kotha koa nai. From 6 to 14 years only. Which amendment added it? 86th amendment added it. The government described this step as the dawn of second revolution. Hetu monot rakhibo. Aru government of India juntu RT Act, very important, RT Act 2009 bonaisile, that is in accordance with article number 21A. Okay, these are some articles. Baki khini junkhini fundamental rights ase, general reading dibo pare. Reading mane ki okol statement to read korile hoi jabo, in depth yar pra ekku teneke nelage. Whatever in depth is required I have added here and here. Okay, ekhini olopan sabo pare. Next is right to equality, right to freedom. Right to freedom of religion. Tate most important is article number 25. The major statements are profession, practice and propagation, very important. Okay, 26 ot managing religious affairs ahe. Taxes or kotha, no payment of taxes, etu ahe article 27 ot. 28 ot ahe attending religious instruction. And all of this, freedom of conscience, freedom of profession, practice, propagation to hai, that is fine, but it is subject to public order, morality, health and other provisions. Ekhini threaten hobo nelage, only then that freedom will be considered. Okay, also one more thing, these articles moi etu koa nai je noporibo de, etu koa nai je nahe, I said general reading. It is not about eneko 14 to 14 6 jeneke ami sorry code go 15 1 2 3 4 5 pohilu, 16 1 2 3 4 5 eneke pohibo na lage, but at least general statement kita pohibo, hegita sabo. Okay, 21, 22, 24. Similarly, article 29, 30. Okay, 31 to 9, hetu constitution remove kori disile. That is right to property, it was removed. All right. Next is right to constitutional remedies, article number 32, the heart and soul of the constitution. If last 5-6 minutes, I have kept it open for discussion. If you have anything, then we can continue with doubt clearance. Jodi nai, then I will close the session in 5-6 minutes. We'll continue from the writs tomorrow. Pasta sora junke writs ase, hegita single line explanation ase, hegita sai meli kaile ami fundamental rights hamor dim. So that's what I was saying. And in case we get some time, then we'll also go for this one, MCQ solving.